What is up, you guys? In today's video, we're going to be blacking out the Toyota Tacoma rims, and we're going to be making them actually pretty sick for only like $10 or $15 using plasti-dip. So let's get right to it. So I know with these TRD tires, you can put some stickers right here and make it black, but I just want to totally black them out. And plus, this right here is not even a black. It's like a gray kind of. I mean, they're just so dirty. So I'm also want to plasti-dip these as well. But this right here, I'm gonna make it red. And if you guys saw my old video, you can actually take off this whole like little cap and then pop this Toyota emblem out. But for now, let's just go ahead and clean it. And I'm using a diluted brake buster from P&S. And this one works really well. I've been using it for a while. And then I just have a wash bucket with some tools. So let's go ahead and do it. So I'm going to be using a small brush for these little areas right here. And you want to make sure you're actually cleaning it really well, just so the plasti-dip can stick in all the areas. Alright, so now after you have the whole entire tire clean, what you want to do now is make sure you dry it really well. And I also have this blow dryer to make sure you get in all the cracks and crevices, because if there is a little bit of water, it will ruin it. So let's make sure you get all the water out, and then let's go over it with a little bit of alcohol. So this is just alcohol and water dilution ratio. And I'm just making sure everything is clean so it adheres to it really well. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take this part and make it red. So I'm just gonna take out the center piece, and then in here you could actually pop these out. All right, and this just comes right out like this. And I'm gonna make this red, and then this one can go back on here. Next thing you want to do is actually put some tire shine on here. And I'm using VRP by Chemical Guys. This is vinyl rubber plastic. It's tire shine. It's a nice protective coating. And the reason for this is because, you know, tire shine either way is going to look nice, but you also want the plasti-dip not to stick to the actual tire itself. And if you put some tire shine on it, it won't stick as easily, and it would be able to come off a lot easier. So let's just put some on. You know, you're going to want it anyways, and it'll save ourselves a little bit of time and headache. Use just a normal trash bag, but I'm gonna go ahead and open it. Now, after I opened it, I can use it for 2 wheels. Save myself a bag. All right, now I'm just gonna run it through the back behind so it doesn't get on the brakes or the caliper. So let's go ahead and run it through. So now you want to just take your plasti-dip. In the first layer, you want to make it the lightest layer as possible. Make it super light until you just coat it all, and then we'll go ahead and put more layers on after it's fully dried. So now after the first layer has fully dried for about 30 minutes, you want to go ahead and put on like 3 or 4 other layers. You want to make sure it's thick, and don't be afraid to get it on the actual tire, like on the rubber part, because when you do, it's going to be easier to peel off when you're done. And now as for these, I'm just using red plasti-dip and doing the same exact thing on these little logos. All right, so here's how it's looking after about 2 coats. You can still see some of the silver kind of showing through on some areas, but let's keep going. And you want to put a couple even coats and maybe use about 3 cans for all 4 tires. All right, and now so for these and for the wheel, I am going to be using a flexible Glossifier coating by the same company, plasti-dip. And this will just give it that extra gloss and shine to make it look a little better and, you know, maybe look like factory. All the coats are done, and now I'm going to go over it with the same clear plasti-dip coating, Glossifier. And you can see it looks real nice in that black, especially with that green. All right, so I am all done with the Glossifier. So when you use this, it says the more coats you put, it says additional coats increase glossy appearance. So I only put 3 on here. You can make it a lot glossier. I still have half the can left, but you know, I didn't want to make it too glossy. I still wanted that matte appearance, but here it is. Let's go ahead and put in the red Toyota emblem, and then I'm gonna wait about another 30 minutes just to have it fully dry, and then I'm gonna peel the edges. You can already see that it's coming off pretty easily, and then I will take out that bag. All right, so here's the Toyota, and make sure when you put it on, they're different sizes. So there's this big one and this one right here. So you can see that there's two different sizes. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it on, the small one in there and the big one on the bottom, and there you go. So make sure it clamps all the way in place on both sides, and man, this is looking nice. All right, so now when it comes to the plasti-dip on the tire, like I said, make sure you get a good coat on here, because when it comes to take it off, especially because we did put the tire shine, look how easy this all just comes right off, and now you're back to your normal tire, and this will also come off very easily, whatever's left over. All right, so now the last thing you gotta do, make sure it's all fully dried, is just take out the plastic bag behind it and try not to scrape up some of the plasti-dip while it's coming out. And we are all done, guys. So let's take a look at the whole thing. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this easy mod that only costs like 20 bucks. And I think this is something that makes the biggest difference on your truck. I've said this before, the wheels and tires make the biggest difference on the truck, whether you get, you know, some bigger ones, whether you black them out or whatever you do. This is one of my favorite mods to do. It's fun and it doesn't take too long and it's super cheap. But if you guys can please help out the channel by giving a quick like and a subscribe, I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on the next one.